10 o'clock on a Wednesday. That means it's new comic time. Yeah. Asshole. It's Night Drive. I'm Billy at @the_Swan_man on Twitter. Repping for the Army of Snarkness podcast at Army of Snarkness. Also on Twitter. Like the Facebook page for Army of Snarkness, because what the fuck else you doing? And be sure to download everything on iTunes, Spreaker.com, Internet Web Radio, or Stitcher. You can do all of that. So do it. Don't just stand there. Damn. Wednesday, which means went to the comic shop to pick up some books to read. And so I did. And I read them. Yes. Yes! Alright. What I picked up today was Ozymandias, number 6 of 6 in the Before Watchmen series. We are counting down. The end is nigh. One more book to go, and of course, it's going to be my favorite, which would be 6 of 6 for Before Watchmen. Comedian. Fist pump. Excited. Super stoked. Also, Thunderbolts of Marvel Now, number 6. 2 6s. And book 2, ooh, fancy. Book 2 of Age of Ultron, the latest debacle to go down in the Marvel Universe, where everybody gonna get fucked up. I will review in Weakest to Strongest. Of course! Because you gotta end on strength, but you lead with strength. Because these are all good books, and you should do your duty and pick them up. I've harped on your asses for Before Watchmen for a while now, and I will continue to do so. Pick up Before Watchmen. They're fucking great. If you're a Watchmen fan, read the fuck out of them. If you haven't read Watchmen, read the fuck out of that first, then read the fuck out of the Before Watchmen series, especially when the trades come out summer to fall of this year. So, get on it, man! That's the Before Watchmen plug. Thunderbolts by Marvel Now. It's not too late. The first wave of books hasn't turned into a trade yet. I don't know where the fuck this storyline's going. Look up Thunderbolts. It's much better than the original Thunderbolts, and it's the best thing that Marvel Now, I think, has going for it, in my humble opinion. Savage Wolverine is a bit dated. And I'm not into the Avengers Academy, and I'm just saying it rubs my tummy right. Age of Ultron. It's going down! Big cosmic event uniting all of the Marvel Universe to get killed collectively again. Like they do, every year or so. There's always an event. This is 2013's event so far. I don't know if there's another one. Although Thanos looks to be doing stuff to pimp the movie for Avengers 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy, which just got rebooted for the movie in comic book form. Weakest to Strongest has got to go with Ozymandias at number 1, or the first thing I'm going to go down about. It's not the strongest book I picked up today. So, apologies, Ozzy. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck him! Look, the before... spoilers now. But, again, I recommend all of these books, and you should go check out any of your local friendly comic book stores and pick up some issues, because it's good. We should support printed media. Except for Thunderbolts, but we should support Thunderbolts, but no, I've got a gripe about printed media to go along with Thunderbolts, which has a delightful cover today. Irregardless. Ozymandias, 6 of 6. Now, the whole thing has been him trying to figure out how exactly to quote-unquote save the world, as only Ozymandias, the world's smartest man, can. And for 5 issues, we've been... First 2 or 3 are actually really good backstory, more than what he lets on in Watchmen proper. And so that's more reason to read his series, is to see how he came into his own, not just as a child and the ways that he describes at Karnak, but in his own way, and how he is as a human being, for lack of a better word, because there's more humanity in Dr. Manhattan's book. Just saying. There's something to be salvaged with John Osterman. There's more to be salvaged with John Osterman than there is fucking Ozymandias. So, blow. That's my opinion. Bang! But instead of being humanity, we've seen the slow machinations of the plan. And not the plan in the movie, but the plan in the comic, of course. And the best thing that book 6 of 6 offers is the reveal of what happens when the comedian flies over the island, the quote-unquote island, the spooky island. We finally get a glimpse of what's going on there. It's always been hinted about, and I've always been curious, and the great thing about Before Watchmen is, even the writers, because it is like a big hunk of fan fiction and lip service, whatever, it's fantastic. It has answered some of the same questions I had going in after Watchmen, the book proper. Like, just little things that I would think about, like, I wonder what it was like, what did Edward Blake see on the island? How did he get to the island? That blew his mind so much that he had to go and, tear up in front of Edgar Jacobi, a.k.a. Moloch. Or, what happened with Hooded Justice? What happened with this and that? And the relationship between Night Owl 1 and Sally Jupiter has always been fantastic, too. And this series has really cleaned all that up, but in a non-offensive or retcon kind of way. Ooh-ah! So if you want to find out what happened on the island with the squid and the artists that Ozzy gets together, this is the book for that. Other than that, he just comes off as a real fucking heel. For any doubt you ever had, and the beautiful artwork of Len Wein ever put into you, no, he's a baddie. He's a big old heel. There is no room for... Where once it was kind of cloudy and stuff, if you read Ozzy's book, his series, yeah, no, he's an asshole. Straight up, super duper villain. But the cyclical nature of the story of Watchmen and before Watchmen comes in, and it's quite delightful. So pick it up. But you should have picked it up already. You should be reading this. You should be dancing. Yeah. Turn on it. Bee Gees. No bigs. Age of Ultron. Book 2. Age of Ultron Book 2 has fucking Moon Knight kicking ass. That's the way I like my Moon Knight, because I fucking love Moon Knight. Back when I was, going through yard sales as a wee one, looking for comics and not really knowing exactly how collecting comics worked, per se, I was all about picking up Moon Knight. Everybody sold fucking Moon Knight at their yard sales, at least where I was from. And, so I had issues 1 through 10. And if you don't know Moon Knight's basically Buckaroo Banzai meets Batman for Marvel. He is a jack of all trades, at least in the 70s. Later that becomes a paranoid delusion that his brain cake is just fucked up and assumed happened. Multiple personalities and the like. But the original origin is that he is a fucking actor, spy, military guy, merc, you name it, he's done it. And he does it. Until he stumbles upon, a tomb while he's doing the Indiana Jones thing. He stumbles upon a tomb of some ancient fucking Egyptian god, and then he gets cursed, for lack of a better word, and that imbues him with the powers of Moon Knight, which there aren't many. I think it's like speed, stealth, I don't know, sort of like the Shadow, but I don't think he actually had any powers proper except for, like, precognition or something. I don't know. But just maxed him out, and then he remained maxed out with his dope-ass costume. So, I'm passing you on the left. Let's read past, though. Anyway, sorry, Night Track. Moon Knight's kicking ass, and I didn't know who the chick was on the front. It's revealed in the book, spoilers, of course. It's revealed that is Black Widow. And Black Widow looks all sexy in all the covers that have been advertised for Age of Ultron, the series, which I think is 11 books. Might be a weekly, I don't know. Looking all sexy and shit in all the things, but the harsh reality is her eye got fucked up, like melted. She can still look out of it, but like where once was an eyelid and a socket is now just like a crusty doom cake of sadness on half of her face. The other half looks fine. And so we go to San Francisco, where first book of Age of Ultron's all New York. This book is half of it's San Francisco. I was born there. And she gets attacked. Some fool, hilarious fool, in this post-apocalyptic Ultron-covered, apparently world, at least America, dude is trying to raid her. And you don't raid Black Widow. It fucking fails. Of course. And fool gets sniped. Dude doing said sniping is Moon Knight without the cowl, because she was wearing the cowl to obscure her creepy baby eye. And they're like hanging out in one of Nick Fury's super secret hideouts that even S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't know about. If Nick Fury found out, he'd kill us. But no one knows if Nick Fury's fucking alive, or which Nick Fury it is. They got a board with all the former and current Avengers on it, and enemies and friends lists, because this has affected the fucking Earth, apparently. And it is going down. And so, fighting the post-apocalyptic war on one half, on West Side, is Moon Knight and Black Widow, and they're like, I wonder what's up with New York, because it got fucked. Go back to New York. Peter Parker is talking about the secret plan of how he got kidnapped, and how these raiders were trying to sell him as a metahuman or DC lingo, or, super-powered human, whatever you want to say, a power. He's a Powers. Love Powers Bureau. That he was getting bartered, that they were going to barter Spider-Man for favor with Ultron, before Ultron just wiped them all the fuck out. Cap, who was looking sad as fuck earlier, overhears all this, and so, spoilers, your last panel is Cap standing up finally after 2 books and being like, ha, we have a plan, because clearly he's going to try something with this barter, Ultron barter system. He's going to try to use that against Ultron, although it looks pretty intense. Also, Cap's shield is more like a rem. Like, there's not even a whole half of it left. It's a strap and a little crescent of, a little sliver of its former glory. Cap got fucked up, obviously. Good shit. I'm excited to see where this fucking story goes. Also, they don't seem to be doing the Superior Spider-Man arc so much, because he's not talking like a creepy old German dude. He's talking like Peter motherfucking Parker. But then again, I didn't read Superior Spider-Man and don't feel like it, so... Nuts to you, fuckface. Thunderbolts! Now, I've loved this new Thunderbolts ever since it happened. But it just keeps getting better. Holy crap. I think it's a bi-weekly, or it's not a monthly, because we're already 6 in. So it hasn't been 6 months, has it? Jesus, it has. It might have. Yeah, fuck. Anyway. Son of a bitch. Jesus, is that me? Where we last left the Thunderbolts, Punisher and Elektra were making out hard after mutilating the shit out of some dudes. Turns out, they were banging while Deadpool was watching. And it pissed Deadpool off so much he broke his comms. Spoilers. Deadpool's so bereaved that after they get done and suit back up, he's like, oh, hey guys, I was just Deadpooling over here. Love triangle between Elektra, Punisher, and Deadpool. Hilarious. / disturbing. Good times, because Deadpool took that shit to heart. And it's odd, because he didn't really have that much chemistry with Elektra in the 3 panels that they had together, but hey, whatever. I don't know how Wade's mind works. However, one of the best things, Frank asks Wade, what's on your mind? Wade says, tumors. Ah! Thunderbolt Ross, and fucking Mercy, who I still don't know who the fuck this bitch is, and Leader are still having a thing about the effects of gamma radiation and this giant brain cell thing to disperse former Leader, before his lobotomy or whatever, Green Leader, proper Leader, how he dispersed all the knowledge that he could ever have throughout the internet because it was too much for his brain to take. Because like the Hulk, the angrier he gets, the bigger he gets. Leader, the smarter he got, the larger his head got, which was killing him slowly, or quickly actually. The effects of gamma radiation are mysterious indeed. So instead of having his head explode, to prevent it, he would learn something and then literally download it onto the internet and save it for later, and he was memorizing codes so that he could, if he needed to look something up, he knew a way to get it. That is what this madman, the red guy that's the brother of Leader, was trying to figure out and was using these poor Katajawan people for. As, like the Matrix, tuned in to hunt for this information on something. A weapon. Said weapon has been constructed and is being sent out through a submarine. So we leave with the Thunderbolts in a tizzy between Frank, Elektra, and Deadpool, and Venom and everyone else. Venom, Ross, and Leader in a tizzy about, we gotta stop this submarine now. It reads much better than the way I put it. But I love this Elektra, Punisher, Deadpool thing. It's hilarious. Hilarious and fun. I'm a big gossip. And this is just delightful pancake goo for Billy. I love this thing. Also, the new, where this cover is a nice painting of Elektra with the Thunderbolts below. Next one is straight up Elektra and Frank Castle just boning. So that's the next issue. Where once was Cat Williams is now Elektra, which then turns into Elektra and Punisher boning. Which makes a sick kind of sense. And if they make love if they fuck the way that they fight, then it'll be both effective and stylish. I have a problem with these cheap-ass Marvel Now covers, because it's printed on not like a cardstock, but pretty much the same kind of paper that you flip through for the issue proper. Problem is, I'm reading it, and my sebaceous glands and shit, where the cover was painted black, yeah, it left a thumb mark from the natural heat! My Latino heat! Melted through the goddamn cover. So, shit was my answer to that. Horseshit, man! Use a better quality paper, you fuckers. Daddy needs his comics to be unsoiled. But now it's got a big thumbprint, because I was getting so hot and heavy with Frank and Elektra that I was sweating. Or rather, I'm just a greasy fuck. Latino Heat! That's Comix. That's new. Thunderbolts is the bomb, man. It just rang my happy bell. Age of Ultron, it's going down hard and fast. And I'm excited. I love the bizarre look of glee that the Ultron critters get when they just fly around and mutilate fuckers. They're like, yay! Wah, 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 and they just nuke fuckers. Oh my god. This is a dark universe indeed. And it is a dark universe indeed. That was Comix number 5. I guess so. Son of a bitch. Everything's hitting the 5s and 6s. This was Night Drive. I hope you had fun. I know I kind of did. I love talking comics. Why not? Be sure to follow me at @the_swan_man on Twitter or at Army of Snarkness on Twitter. Like the Army of Snarkness Facebook page where shit sometimes happens. Be sure to download all of the delicious podcasts like you heard earlier on iTunes, Spreaker, and Stitcher. And,